This video is just a super quick client interview. One of our clients who we have had great results for when it comes to YouTube. He used to spend a lot of time on YouTube, many hours creating content, but getting barely any results for his business. Within our very first month of working together, we managed to get him incredible results, which he's going to talk about in this video, and also managed to save him an enormous amount of time from going from multiple hours a week to barely any hours a week, freeing up so much of his time, getting more money, getting more clients, and just bringing more leads to him. So yeah, enjoy the video. Hopefully you find it valuable, and I'll see you there. All right, guys, welcome to the video. We've got one of our clients here, Hoani, who we've been working with for about the past, it's coming on to our third month now, and we've seen some good results from YouTube so far. So we thought we'd bring him on for a quick interview. And he's going to talk to us about his experience working with us. So Hoani, hello. If you just want to give a quick 30-second kind of introduction of who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so we're a cold email marketing agency. We've been in the agency space for maybe 9 years now. We started as like a restaurant marketing agency, working with restaurants all over the US. And to be honest, I did a bit of YouTube content with that. And then we started to move away from restaurants just because essentially we couldn't charge them enough, and I didn't want to have hundreds of clients. So we moved to doing mostly working with other agencies and other B2B companies through cold email. And we've been doing YouTube there as well. So I've been doing YouTube, I think the channel is like 8 years old, but literally I got like my happy birthday. It's been 8 years, but didn't really have any success until Raf came on. So that goes to show that working with someone that knows what they're doing tends to help a lot.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, yeah, talk to us a bit more. What was YouTube like before us? What was your main sort of struggles? What sort of results was you seeing from YouTube? Let's talk more about specifically when you started doing more of the cold email agency sort of stuff, or when you moved away from the restaurant. How was your results, and how was YouTube with that?
The results were, I mean, they were okay. Like I suppose there was kind of two different things. It was like, once you start getting into the game of YouTube, you just more and more realize like how little you know. And like, if you are a creative person, you want stuff that stimulates that side of what you're doing, which as a beginner tends to mean that you're not going to make any money off it. And so you're kind of in this pull between like, I'm doing this activity to serve my business because I'm spending all this time on it.
Yeah.
And for that, it ended up being like 20 hours a week making YouTube videos, which I wasn't even that happy with because I was like still learning the tools on how to do it. So to be fair, like I enjoyed the process, but I didn't get the results, and it spent a lot of time on it. And I probably soldiered away at that. Maybe made like 30 videos myself, I would say, something like this. And we didn't really get any calls booked from them, to be honest. Some of them got views when I made like more generic videos that appealed to a wider audience, but they didn't necessarily result in business, which is kind of the point of the channel.
Yeah. And you slightly touched on it, but roughly how much time a week was you spending on sort of YouTube content, and how do you find staying consistent with YouTube whilst also running your agency?
Yeah, so I was spending like maybe 20 hours a week on it, just like in Final Cut battling and trying to figure out and watching YouTube tutorials. And like I enjoyed it, but I also knew that like my time was better spent working on the business as opposed to like this kind of hobby that I was doing on the side, which wasn't even generating us any calls. So that has been one of the biggest value adds, is like I've just now got that time back to do other stuff which actually moves the needle. And yeah, most of that, I'd say I could have spent triple the amount of time to get the videos like where I was happy because I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, it was definitely a big time suck.
if you're a B2B agency or a business who is looking to scale through YouTube, and you maybe have your channel already and you're struggling, or you want to start a brand new channel to bring in leads on a continuous basis, to bring in qualified leads, to bring in leads that are ready to buy, whilst also saving yourself an enormous amount of time and just essentially reaping all the rewards, then book in a call down below, and I look forward to speaking to you to see if we are a good fit. And even if we're not, I'm sure I can give you a lot of value when it does come to YouTube on that call. And roughly nowadays, how much time a week are you spending on a YouTube video?
Maybe 3 hours, maybe like 2 hours. Like you'll send me like the framework, and then I'll spend maybe like 2 hours kind of filling it out with my little bits of knowledge, and then I'll just one shoot it each time. I'll just turn the camera on and I'll just record it and send it over. Yeah, to be fair though, like I'm relatively comfortable in front of a camera because I've been doing it for quite a few years, not necessarily successfully, but I've been at least being in front of a camera for quite a few years. So it's like I'm comfortable enough to just to sit down and talk, even though I mumble a bit and my accent's a bit hard for the American audience to understand. So I need to work on that, but at least I'm comfortable enough to like shoot it in one go. So that definitely takes some of the time down. But yeah, it's gone from like 20, 30 hours down to 3 hours, which just means like I can foresee making 3 videos a week is like now a possibility if we wanted to do that.
Yeah, awesome. And in terms of more results now, how many book calls are you seeing on average I know our first month done really, really well. And then also we're trying to grow the email list. How is that growing as well?
Yeah, so I think we've got like 500 emails on our email list, and we're booking between like 4 and maybe 9 calls a week, like through this. And we have closed maybe 2 or 3 deals through it now. So it's like, it's ROI positive. And also like, even if the deal didn't come from, let's say, YouTube, if we're getting referrals or if we do cold outbound for us, they're going to check out the channel at some point, and then they're going to see it as social proof as well. So it's like a self-tightening system on that respect. And also for us, and I would say this is probably the case with lots of companies that are looking to grow, we do outbound for us in a relatively narrow bound. Like we're going to pick an audience and go after them, but from YouTube we get a lot more variance and variation, and like we get a lot of smaller companies, but we also get like companies doing $100 million a year coming up from YouTube, which is just like not the types of companies that would typically reach out to. And so what we've found is that variation in the lead sources helps provide stability within the business as well. And also open up new opportunities that you just wouldn't even consider.
Yeah, so it's like you start to think to work with companies you'll never really outreach to, but your service also works for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense. Awesome. So yeah, just last question, just an overall kind of review of our service. Would you recommend us? And
I would, yes. And we have been, and we've been sending people your way. For me, the belief break was, and it's not just applied to this now because I've seen it in this, is like, if you can hire somebody to do a better job and it's an important task, like you should do that because it's going to make you money. And if we're in the game of making money, like this has been such a good use of resources because it frees up both my time and makes us money. So I would definitely recommend it.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that, Hoani. Appreciate you jumping on.
Cheers, Raf.
Cheers. Take care. If you made it to the end of the video, I want to thank you. Hopefully you found some value. That if you are a B2B agency or business and looking to scale directly through YouTube with more leads coming in on a continuous basis, leads that are ready to buy, then book in a call down below, and I look forward to speaking to you there. Have a good one. Take care, and bye-bye.